Top of the morning to you at 9:58 Pacific Standard Time. Greetings and salutations, and welcome to the Mizzle And Dub Show. And we'll just get right into fuck the NCAA, fuck them, fuck them, fuck them. And did I mention fuck them?
Hey, you see my slogan.
Very rarely do I say the word a lot, but the NCAA can really.
You see it. You see it.
Yeah.
And I'm still supporting my team.
Yeah.
I'm still, and you know what?
I mean,
fuck it. Let's just dive right into it. Let's just get right into how I feel about this goddamn bullshit. I'm gonna tell you this. Okay, I get it. The only thing that they said the reason why we didn't get in is because we lost our quarterback. If that's your only excuse, then that's fucking bullshit. And two, the committee was so fucking scared to not put in the SEC team that they had to put it out. How does Alabama jump 4 fucking spots to get to number 4? They were the 8th team in the nation. How does that happen? So you're going to deny my team because they lost their fucking quarterback? Get the fuck out of here. We have a top-notch defense. Do you not think that our defense could have went in there and at least contended with the likes of Michigan? Michigan ain't all that fucking great either. They're not all that great. And for the committee to come out and literally say the reason why we didn't pick Florida State to get in there is because they lost their quarterback, that's a bunch of baloney. That's a bunch of bullshit. I can't stand the fucking NCAA because the slurpage of Nick Saban is so fucking real. I would have rather them put the Bulldogs in. The Bulldogs should have been better, would have been a better thing than the fucking Alabama. I'm sick and tired of fucking Alabama getting their way. Always. It's stupid. And here's it, and I'm gonna foreshadow. Watch it be Alabama versus Texas in the championship game because Texas is gonna rout Washington. I don't care what nobody say. They're gonna steamroll them. Texas is too big. Texas is too big of a team. And second, did you see Michigan's face when they found out that it was Alabama, not Florida State? The game was already over right there. That whole whatever they were at, you heard that you can hear a fucking pin drop in that reaction. Room. So they're already beat before the game starts.
The reaction was almost.
Yeah, so they're already beat already. So you mean to tell me that's what you want? Just fucking, this is like boxing. Just fucking tell us who's going to win the damn match, and we can just watch it like that. Instead of me sitting here watching a boxing match, and you're clearly not seeing what I'm seeing. I'm seeing one person get their ass whipped, but you're seeing the other person winning. What the fuck? So now, if Alabama steamrolls Michigan, which they're trying to avoid, because they're trying to avoid the TCU debacle that happened, what was it, last year or 2 years ago, when Georgia just ran right all over them?
Yeah.
So what are you telling these kids? That if you win
last year,
if you win and you go undefeated, oh, but your quarterback lost. We're sorry, guys. Yeah, you guys won't contend. You won't play good in the championship game. That's a bunch of bullshit. This is the only time in fucking history that a champion that goes undefeated in a powerhouse 5 does not get in. All because they're afraid that somebody's going to get blown out. Guess what, ladies and gentlemen? That's why you play the fucking game. You can't determine a game by just thinking, they don't have their quarterback. They're not going to be good. But our defense, fuck the committee. Fuck the committee. They screwed me out of a chance of getting another championship t-shirt or a hoodie. Fuck them. And I'm sorry. I know we play your Bulldogs. I will not be watching because I know that my little 2 cents viewership doesn't make a difference, but I'm not watching. But I do feel sorry for your Bulldogs because they're going to prove a point in this game. And if y'all don't come with your A game, Florida State will steamroll you with just their defense. I don't give a fuck who the quarterback's going to be. But here's the thing. Don't they got like 2-3 weeks to prepare for this game? Does the 4 kicks off in what? 2 weeks? When does the playoff thing start? Yeah, when does the playoff start?
First
for the 4 games?
Oh,
Because if it's in 2 weeks,
I want to say New Year's Day.
that shit. New Year's Day? So you mean to tell me that Florida State could have possibly had 3 weeks to prepare to get their second or third string quarterback up and running? I can't. I can't. That just really just makes me really upset right there. That
okay. Okay, so the Rose Bowl. Ooh, damn. Okay, Michigan, Alabama, in Pasadena. Okay.
So you mean to tell me that Florida State could have been back in Pasadena and I had an opportunity to go watch? Fuck you, committee. Fuck you.
Correct.
Not happy. Not happy. Not happy
Good.
at all.
Well, I'm just upset because my team lost to fucking Alabama. Now again,
and what did I tell you? I told you. I foreshadowed this shit on our last show. I said, don't let Alabama win that fucking game. I literally said, don't let Alabama win that game because I knew that's what's going to happen.
Well, they did. They didn't. Alabama was 3 points better. That's all there is to it. They couldn't stop Milroy. He played fantastic. You got within the game, but when Alabama needed to make plays, they did. That's all that's all there is to it. But
it wasn't enough to get them back in the playoffs. I'm sorry. You don't jump 4 fucking spots just by winning a game. That's bullshit. Yeah, I think the committee was just scared not to put an SEC team because never in history.
And that starts next year, thank the Lord.
That still doesn't make me happy as a fan.
So we don't have to worry about this 4 crap anymore.
That still doesn't make me happy.
I get it. I understand it. Joey Galloway because Joey Galloway, it's about the best matchups. So, okay. For me, not anybody else. I'm only speaking for me. In my eyes, what Anthony Dub Alvarez will say at the end of it, if Florida State happens to beat my Bulldogs in the Orange Bowl on December the 30th and finish the season 14-0, I don't care who wins the championship. To say, me, Dub Alvarez, at 10:07 a.m. Pacific Standard Time on December the 4th, 2023. This is what I will say. I will say, you can frame it, you can screenshot it, you can record it. If Florida State wins against my Bulldogs in the Orange Bowl, whoever wins the national title, there will be, in my eyes, co-national champions. I will say that. That's what I will say. The BCS was BS too. I was never a big fan of the BCS. Okay, I'm just saying, if I was the commissioner of the NCAA football, I would have been like the old days. Okay, you got a coaches poll, you got an AP poll, and if 2 teams have to be undefeated, guess what? You're co-national champions. You share the damn trophy.
I think they were trying to avoid that. That's why they came up with
because
this
they're pussies. And the system has sucked ever since.
Yep.
I'm sorry, but it hurts. Okay. The only one time the BCS actually worked was when it gave us one of the greatest college football games I ever saw in my life, and that was Texas and USC in the Rose Bowl in 2005, 2006. That's the only time the BCS, in my opinion, has worked. Was that one time. Because again, okay, I can see why Bevo got it. I can see why Bevo got in.
Oh yeah,
Bevo, I understand.
Texas earned that right. They earned that right.
I get why Bevo got in, but for the life of me, okay, yes, I know the college football team that I root for. I know they play in the doggone SEC. I know the media and ESPN and ABC and CBS and Fox. Yes, I know they all get down on their knees and they slurp the hell out of Nick Saban, and I'm sick of it. I am. Okay? I'm not bitter that my Bulldogs did not get in the playoff because they lost. They lost their conference championship game. I get it.
Yep.
I am very upset that my Bulldogs lost to the damn Elephants.
No,
it's not about
not at all.
It's the fact that you have a team that has not lost a game.
No, they didn't deserve it. They don't. In my opinion, they don't.
And let's be truthful. Alabama got lucky against Auburn because it took a prayer in Jordan Hare for them to beat Auburn on a 4th and goal.
And they want to talk about performances. The reason why that Florida State's not in because of performance.
They kept Louisville out the end zone. Held Louisville to 6 points.
Louisville averages 30 points a game.
Louisville did not score in the end zone. And didn't
Louisville puts up 400 yards a game. So miss me with that the performance. What wins championships? Defense wins fucking championships. The Noles are one of the top 5 defenses in the goddamn country. Miss me with that bullshit. Miss me with that. I'm a very pissed off college football fan. I thought the BCS or whatever this committee would have been better than that. I understand it. I get it. I'm not saying that I understand it. I do. I know why they put Bama in there. They put it in there because they think that Bama will be more competitive and Florida State wouldn't. But just look at the defense. Just look at it. You took away a chance to see what this team could have done. Who knows what would have happened?
Romaker could not clear. And you don't think Romaker would have cleared concussion protocol within those 3 weeks that you have to prepare? Really?
Yes.
Really?
Yes. Yes. And here's the thing. I honestly really hope Michigan steamrolls Alabama. I really do. Just to prove the committee wrong. Just to say, you know what? Y'all got it wrong.
You ain't the only one.
But we all know what's going to happen. Like I said, it's going to be Alabama versus Texas in the championship because that's what they want. Because Texas and Alabama had a tremendous week 2 game. So you're looking at week 2 and how they all played. Just to circle it back around, I thought they were going to give us something new this year. I really thought that we were going to get Washington getting in. That's cool. Michigan earned their right to get in there. That's cool. Texas, like we say, we agree with Texas, but I just don't agree with Alabama. It could have been anybody else but Alabama. If you're going to leapfrog Florida State, at least give it to somebody else that well deserved it. To a degree, cousin, all sports are rigged. You can rig any type of sport. What was that, sir? We can't hear you. Can't hear you.
One things. Oh, you know what?
You're good. We can hear you. But to get back to your question, is it rigged? I mean, when you got a sport that boosters pay for everything, I can see, I can slightly see it being slightly rigged. You know, like I believe the SEC paid to get into the playoff. If you ask me, jumping 4 spots because you beat Georgia. You know, money rules everything. It'll get you anything you want, per se. So yeah, I believe it was rigged. Or you can just go off and say that I'm just a pissed off NCAA fan that think he deserved his team to be in the playoffs. Yes, that's what should have been deserved. Again, I'll repeat to what I just said. You finish the season undefeated. You win your conference championship. You're a powerhouse 5 team. By NCAA rule per se, that automatically should get you into their playoff. This is the first time a P5 team has not made it into it. And we can hear you, sir. Just speak.
Okay, I just want to make sure because technology is really pissing me off today. I really want to take a baseball bat and just swing for the fences on everything that's technological right now. By the way, there was an alert. Caleb Williams will not play in the bowl game against Louisville, which while we're here, let's just go through all the bowl matchups because I do like college bowl season,
this is the best time of the year.
Kicks off on December the 16th.
Let's go.
All right,
I'm off that weekend. Let's go.
New Mexico. So, Fresno State and New Mexico State will kick it off in the New Mexico Bowl.
That's going to be a good one.
New Mexico State 10-4. New Mexico State 10-4. Fresno State 8-4. Then, a lot of California teams playing on this Saturday. So, in the Independence Bowl, Texas Tech will take on the beloved California Golden Bears. Go Bears. So Texas Tech, California, no strangers to each other. Second time they've met in a bowl game. They were playing in the Independence Bowl. Georgia Southern against Ohio in the Myrtle Beach Bowl. How many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 bowl games on Saturday. Okay, here we go. Louisiana takes on Jayville State in the New Orleans Bowl. Miami of Ohio takes on Appalachian State in the Avocados from Mexico Cure Bowl. Is this game actually in Mexico? I really want to know. No, it's in Orlando. Okay. We're going to have a Mexico Bowl and play in Orlando. It's beyond me. Okay, anyhow. And in LA, in the LA Bowl, played at Inglewood
where
at SoFi Stadium. Yeah, it actually has an LA team in there. UCLA will play against Boise State. Boise State that won the Mountain West Conference style, beating UNLV. Yes. They're playing the LA. So Monday in
I saw the Rebels went down, huh? They took an L.
Actually, well, yeah, they did. But they are playing Kansas in Phoenix in the.
Well,
we'll get to that in a minute. Monday the 18th, it is the famous Toastery Bowl, Western Kentucky against Old Dominion. Tuesday in the Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl, it is Texas San Antonio taking on Marshall. Thursday, Scooters Coffee Frisco Bowl. Some of these names, I tell you. In the roofclaim.com Boca Raton Bowl, South Florida takes on Syracuse. Friday, December 22nd, Georgia Tech and Central Florida in the Union Home Mortgage Gasparilla Bowl. Then on
I
Saturday,
love the
December
Gasparilla
23rd,
Bowl.
in the Hawaii Bowl, Coastal Carolina Saturday the
That's one of my
23rd in
faves.
the Hawaii Bowl. It is Coastal Carolina taking on San Jose State. Go Sparty. In the 76 Birmingham Bowl, the very impressive 11-2 Troy takes on Duke. In the Camilla Bowl, Arkansas State against Northern Illinois. In the Lockheed Martin Armed Forces Bowl, James Madison, who has a fantastic year, going 11-1, takes on Air Force. So yes, there is an Armed Forces Academy in a bowl game after the Armed Forces Bowl. In the famous Idaho Potato Bowl, Georgia State takes on Utah State. In the 68 Ventures Bowl, South Alabama takes on Eastern Michigan. And in the Las Vegas Bowl, here in Las Vegas, which I'm going to try to go to, it is the Utah Utes taking on the Northwestern Wildcats. Of course, Mike Wilbon's alma mater. I'm going to try to go to that bowl game since it is Utah against Northwestern. And speaking of the UNLV Rebels, they are in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl, which is actually in Chase Field in Phoenix, Arizona. They are taking on the Kansas Jayhawks. Kansas at 8-4. UNLV at 9-4. That should be a very interesting matchup there. Because Liberty is actually undefeated and they're also a conference champion. That's how. In the Quick Lane Bowl, Bowling Green takes on Minnesota. In the Service Pro First Responder Bowl, Texas State takes on Rice. And 2 days after Christmas, in the Military Bowl, it is Virginia Tech against Tulane. In the Duke's Mayo Bowl, yes, this is a bowl named after mayonnaise. Yes.
And don't they spike the coach
and the
in
tradition
mayonnaise?
Is, and the tradition is the winning coach gets the Gatorade shower of mayonnaise. Yes.
Disgusting.
Anyhow, this year's matchup is the North. In this year's matchup, it is the North Carolina Tar Heels against the West Virginia Mountaineers, which is almost like a home game for the Tar Heels because they're playing in Charlotte at Bank of America Stadium.
Yes.
In one of my favorite bowls, the DirecTV Holiday Bowl, it is the Louisville Cardinals against the USC Trojans. Go Louisville.
Damn right, go
Louisville.
Louisville.
Caleb Williams will not be playing in the Caleb Williams is not going to be playing in the Holiday Bowl. So just go Louisville. That's all I got to say. In the Tax Act Texas Bowl, it is Texas A&M against Oklahoma State. The Wasabi Fenway Bowl, and yes, that is being played at legendary Fenway Park. The Green Monster getting some more football. Once upon a time, Fenway Park did host the NFL for the old Boston Patriots in the old AFL days. So it is SMU 11-2 and ranked 24th, taking on Boston College. So the Boston College Eagles, not a far trip. They get to play at Fenway Park in a bowl game. Really? This is the sponsor. Oh, God. Now I'm starting to think Puffy is a part of this. Bad Boy Mowers Pinstripe Bowl, which is played at Yankee Stadium in the Bronx. It is the Scarlet Knight of Rutgers taking on the University of Miami. So we know a little big brother will be rooting for his beloved Hurricanes as they play in Yankee Stadium.
So what country K? So this name,
why? Yes. What we used to eat for breakfast, running out the door, going to school, has a bowl game. Pop-Tarts has a bowl game. The Pop-Tarts Bowl pits number 18 North Carolina State at 9-3 against Kansas State at 8-4. And now this matchup here probably might be a very doggone good game. The Alamo Bowl normally does not disappoint, and it's got a very good matchup. 9-3 and 14th ranked Arizona takes on 12th ranked 10-2 Oklahoma. So the Wildcats and Sooners in the Alamo Bowl should be a good one. Should be a good one in San Antonio. The Gator Bowl the Tax Slayer Gator Bowl pits the Clemson Tigers against the Kentucky Wildcats. Clemson coming in ranked 22nd. The Tony of the Tiger Sun Bowl pits 19th ranked Oregon State against 16th ranked Notre Dame. That could be intriguing. In the Liberty Bowl, it is Memphis against Iowa State.
Ooh.
And in the Cotton Bowl has number 7 Ohio State against number 9 Missouri. That should be an intriguing matchup. We already talked about the Orange Bowl that he's going to boycott. His beloved Seminoles taking on my beloved Bulldogs in the Orange Bowl. That's on Saturday, December the 30th. In the Chick-fil-A Peach Bowl, a very interesting matchup. 10-2 and 11th ranked Ole Miss takes on 10-2 and 10th ranked Penn State. That should be an interesting game.
Oh,
The Trans Perfect Music City Bowl has Maryland taking on Auburn. In the Barstool Sports has a bowl game after them. Go ahead, Barstool Sports. And you can catch that game exclusively on the CW network. It is the Toledo Rockets against the Wyoming Cowboys.
Toledo.
Monday, January 1st, in Toledo. In the Rilla Quest Bowl, it is 13th ranked LSU taking on 7-5 Wisconsin. In the Fiesta Bowl, and kudos for Liberty, they get to a fantastic bowl game. Ranked 23rd, 13-0. They take on the 8th ranked Oregon Ducks at 11-2. Again, that's the Fiesta Bowl in Glendale, Arizona. The Cheez-Its Citrus Bowl pits number 17 Iowa 10-3 against number 21 Tennessee. The semifinal in the San Gabriel Mountains in Pasadena, California pits Michigan and Alabama. And of course, the nightcap in the Sugar Bowl, Texas against Washington. So now here's something interesting. Looking at the line, Michigan is minus 1.5 against Alabama. Texas minus 4 in the Sugar Bowl, and of course the national championship game, which is taking place in Houston, Texas at NRG Stadium. It is November or January the 8th. So that is your bowl matchups for 2023. So yeah, some very interesting games there. So yeah, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah, I'll watch the
see,
non-big
my
bowls. I mean, I might chime in.
He's like, you might chime in.
I might chime in on the Florida State Georgia game because I just want to see how they're going to respond after getting disrespected. You know, right now I'm speaking of anger, but maybe I'll chime in just to see how they play and how they react, just if they want to try to stick it to the committee, the show. But as for the 4 other games, I don't know if I'll watch those because that's just disrespect. That's all.
No, again, I get what you're saying. I wholeheartedly understand what you're saying. I get it. It just sucks because again, normally, and this is how it is in basketball. Normally, if you win your conference tournament outright, you normally get a high seed or a good seed in the NCAA tournament. I know that's how it is on the road to Omaha in the College World Series, volleyball, whatever sport you want to name. But yet, when it comes to football, I'll say it like this, EJ Wizzle. I'm okay with anybody winning it except Alabama. Anybody but Alabama. I'll leave it at that. I will truthfully leave it at that. I would 100%. I would love to see Michigan just for the fact that Michigan just for the fact that their coach got suspended twice and they still rallied to play together. Now again, beating Alabama is never going to be easy. But again, I'm just tired. I'm just tired of the Saban slurpage. Just like I was tired of the Peyton Manning slurpage. Just like I was tired of the Tom Brady slurpage. I'm just tired of it.
No, it's Patrick Mahomes now.
That's all there is to it. Well, he took an L in the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field yesterday against the Green Bay Packers.
That didn't stop Chris Collinsworth for still slurping on him.
That Collinsworth is just a slurper. That's just what he is. Now here's a guy. Shut up. Anyhow, but going back off that, but yes, there was there was some more football games played. But kudos to the Green Bay Packers for sticking it to the defending Super Bowl champions.
Yes,
as
indeed.
The Packers got a huge win at home against the Chiefs, 27-19.
That's 2 weeks in a row that they have put together 2 games on Thanksgiving. They stuck it to the Lions and really stuck it to the Lions. And then Sunday Night Football, they stick it to the defending champs. So kudos. Packers
twice on national TV in a national TV sitting where the whole football world got to see the Packers. And I know people say that Jordan Love might not be it. Are you sure? Because he's played well the last 2 weeks, and the Packers might be.
But you know what's wrong with people nowadays?
As they're now.
You know what's wrong with fan bases nowadays?
What's that?
Fan bases are so quick to just give up if shit goes south quick. You know, they're not quick to just.
Trust me, that was my fan base during that 3-game losing streak. So I know. Trust me,
it's ridiculous.
Which I mean,
you can't win every game. You're gonna lose. Even if it's the close ones, even if your offense is playing spectacular and your defense is playing spectacular, but if that coach on the other side just dials up a good play that beats you, that's what it is. Look here, you're talking to a Raider fan, and that's where I'll leave it at that. So the losing, I get it. Like I say on every show when we get to talking about his fucking organization, I always say, man, it sure be nice to know how it is to win. I always say that. But do you think I'm going to just jump off the ship because my team is losing? Fuck no. I have seen some good days and I have seen some shitty seasons. More shitty seasons than winning seasons. But God, just so fan bases is just so really quick to jump off their team or the player because they have a couple of bad weeks. Just stop it. And no, I don't think Jordan Love will be a bust. Just give him a chance. Just give him a chance. All the Packer fans have to do is what Aaron Rodgers said when they were going through their thing. Relax. The kid is young. You know, he will be all right. They got the right coach.
He's got Dobbs. He's got Dobbs. He's got Watson. And okay, since LaFleur has been there as the Packers head coach, in December, what was the Packers with Favre and Rodgers when that calendar turned to December? The Packers became very tough teams to beat.
Because you know why? Other teams couldn't handle the cold. They played in the cold very well.
Exactly.
That's what you got. They knew how to play. And check that out. A California kid came to the cold and adapted and start winning in December. The Packers, their bread and butter, if they can just stick around to December, be very, very afraid. Because they are a dynamic team, no matter who the coach is when it comes to December or the quarterback. So watch out for the Packers having a pretty good run right here in December, especially if the Vikings start going south. If the Vikings start going south, we already know Detroit is winning the division. That's what's going to be happening. But the Vikings or the Packers can fight for that playoff spot.
And you know what? That loss for the Chiefs has booted them to number 4 in the AFC.
Oh shit.
And
Oh,
one
shit.
thing that has not proven so far, because all these years that the Chiefs have been in the playoffs, they've mainly been at home. We have never seen the Chiefs on the road in the playoffs
100%.
under Mahomes and Reed. So
Yeah. And they're
now here
losing on
comes
the
this
road.
question.
So
If the Chiefs have to go on the road, after their one playoff home game, can the Chiefs prove they can win on the playoffs in the road? That has not been determined. That has not come into fruition yet, and that's a question that needs to be asked because.
well, I'll even go a little bit higher than what you're saying right then and there. They haven't really been winning at home either this year. So it really doesn't matter where they play this year. The Chiefs ain't the Chiefs. They're not the scary team that teams used to fear. They're beatable. And hell, if the Packers can do it,
I mean,
do you think they can go to M&T Stadium? Do you think they can go to M&T Stadium and beat the Ravens? No. Not how the Ravens play defense.
Do you know who your number 1 seed is in the AFC right now?
It should be the Baltimore Ravens.
The number 1 seed in the American
or the Jaguars.
No,
the Jaguars
the
are
number
Ravens.
1 seed in the American football. The number 1 seed in the American Football Conference right now is the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, I forgot about the Dolphins. Okay, yeah.
The Miami Dolphins are your number 1 seed in the American Football Conference.
Mm-hmm. Hell, with that offense alone,
they have the tiebreaker over Baltimore because the Dolphins have the tiebreaker over the Ravens because the Dolphins have a better conference record right now than the Ravens.
Yes. So if it wasn't for that, the Ravens would be the number 1 seed. If it wasn't for that, see. So I knew I forgot about the Dolphins.
But Baltimore. Okay, so here's the seeding right now up to minute in the AFC. Dolphins 1 seed, Ravens 2 seed, Jaguars 3 seed, Chiefs 4, Pittsburgh 5, Cleveland 6, the Colts 7th.
Oh, the Colts.
The Colts have the tiebreaker over Houston, and that's why Houston is out and the Colts are in. Even with the identical 7-5 records, the Colts have a better conference.
Texas might sneak away in
than the Texans.
The Texans might sneak away in there.
So
they might find a way.
They could. And then you got teams still in the hunt. So in the NFC, Eagles are still number 1, but Indeed. They got a big game next Sunday night, and who knows what might happen on that. My team is number 2. Detroit's number 3. Atlanta is 4. Cowboys 5. Vikings 6. And the Packers right now would be in if the season was to end today. So going for that final spot, you have the Rams, Seahawks, both 6-6. The Buccaneers and the Saints at 5-7, trying to get in there with the Vikings and the Packers at 6-6.
Oh,
then you just need
nice little battle.
You just need to. Okay, you just need to cut his ass right now if he's doing that sucker crap. Oh, come on.
Who are we talking?
Really?
About? What are we talking about?
Okay. Just got an alert from the Athletic via a Bleacher Report. Jets leaning towards going back to Zach Wilson, but the quarterback isn't all in. Zach Wilson reluctant to play. Cut him right now.
Oh, he doesn't want to play. He doesn't want to play.
Give him his pink slip.
Oh yeah.
Give him his pink slip right now.
Yeah.
You don't need that. You don't need that locker room. You know what?
He didn't revert it back to his old ways.
Chris Trevler right now. Cut him right now.
Or hell, go get Colin Kaepernick, somebody that wants to play.
But does he really want to play though?
Well,
has Kaepernick really shown the desire that he really wants to get back in football?
Well, we won't know.
I'm
We
just
won't
saying,
know
if
until
it
he
was
puts on
me,
pads. We won't know.
True, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if Colin Kaepernick really wanted to get back in the NFL, this is what I would have done. Go to the CFL. Go to the USFL. Go to the XFL.
True.
Go
he
play
did get
in
offered.
that.
He did get offered. Yes, I agree.
Humble yourself. Go there.
Okay.
Play there. Okay. Ball off. Show that you still have the skills. And maybe somebody might get you to come back to the NFL. I mean, hell.
I don't disagree with that.
Warren Moon had to go to the CFL before the Houston Oilers finally gave him a shot.
Those are facts.
Hell, Steve Young was in the USFL. Jim Kelly was in the USFL. Doug Williams, before he got back to the NFL, was in the USFL.
Rocket Ishmael went to the
Ricky Sanders
football
in the USFL. Gary Clark was in the USFL. Hell, Tommy Maddox was out of football, went to the XFL, got a shot with the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Pittsburgh. Yeah, facts.
I mean, hell,
I don't disagree.
Reuben Foster played well. Reuben Foster played well for the Pittsburgh Maulers in the USFL. Played well at linebacker got his act together after the NFL kicked him out. Okay, yes, he did do some workouts, but again, he keeps talking about transparency. Okay, if you really want to play football that bad, why not go take the route of go playing in Canada or go playing with now the XFL, USFL merger? I mean, hell, Kurt Warner played in the Arena Football League, for crying out loud, and now he's got a gold jacket in the Hall of Fame. I said it back in 2016. I said in 2016, I don't think that Kaepernick had the heart to play, or his mind was not on playing football. I still think that today, 7 years later. I do. Okay? And it irritates me because everybody was enamored with what he did in 2012 because it was something we had not seen before. Hell, Ron Jaworski, a very respected NFL veteran, one of the best people to do NFL films, one of the best people in dissecting film, literally said he was going to be the first guy to run for 1,000 and pass for 1,000 yards. Ron Jaworski said that. And here's what happened. Teams got film on him, and Colin Kaepernick failed to adjust. He did not have good film study habits, just like Kyler Murray in Arizona. When it comes to film study, that's good. And he just doesn't see it on the field. Again, and I hate to keep going back to this game, but dadgummit, how do you not see that Torrey Smith is by himself in the huddle and you don't snap it, and you got Torrey Smith doing jumping jacks saying, there's nobody here, snap it and throw it to me. That's not saying Torrey Smith would have scored on that play, but he had a whole lot of green in front of him, and Torrey Smith in his whole career was a very, very fast man.
This is true. I'm not disagreeing with anything you said.
He must have not improved those workouts. And then when Hugh Jackson put his reputation on the line, you want to go change sites? Again, do you really want to get back in the NFL? They had a workout. They agreed to a workout, but then all of a sudden, last minute, you want to go change locations. So, yeah, I have every right to question his desire of if he wants to play football.
I do disagree. No argument for me on that statement. I was well put.
But what do I know? In any event, there was some games that took place on Sunday. As we'll go back into it, Cowboys get by the Seahawks 41-35 in a back-and-forth game. No defense was played. DK Metcalf was absolutely cooking. 6 catches for $134. CD Lamb 12 catches, $116. But Dak pulls it out the end when they needed to. Cowboys get to 9-3, and they got a big game coming up on Sunday night. The San Diego Fathers beat the Boston Red Sox 6-0 at Fenway Park. Blake went 7 innings, struck out 5. Manny Machado hits 2 home runs. I said, don't find it
What a horrible
surprised
game.
if the Patriots start sucking again. Horrible's not the word, but seeing the Patriots at 2-10 makes me smile. Yes, it does.
I agree, but damn it.
I said what I
The
said.
Chargers, wait, but what does that say about the Chargers only putting up 6 points, though?
2 field goals.
Yeah.
Well,
What does that
Austin
say?
Eckler had 14 carries for 18 yards. Austin Eckler had 4 carries for 18 yards. Zappy was 13 of 25 for $141. Herbert was 22 of 37 for 212 yards. Zeke actually ran the ball for 52 yards. Oh, Devontae Parker learned how to catch the football again. He's been in exile since he left the Dolphins. Makes you think he wish he stayed in Miami now. He led the Patriots with 4 catches for 64 yards. Unfortunately, Stevenson hurt himself for the Patriots, who's been their best offensive player all year.
Oh, yeah, he couldn't put pressure on that leg at all.
Yeah. Well, let's just go to the team stats and see how bad it was. Chargers 5 of 15 on third down. Patriots 4 of 14 on fourth down. On third down, yeah, that normally do it. They each only had 13 first downs. The Patriots had 1 turnover. The Chargers only ran for 29 yards as a team. The Patriots ran for 148, but yet somehow could not score. So we'll see if Bob Kraft. Now, this one we did not expect at all, and we both took the L against this. But kudos to the Arizona Cardinals for going into Pittsburgh.
Yes.
And
yes,
bullying the Steelers. Got to give credit where
that
credit's due.
And that is a good word to use, because that's exactly what happened. They bullied. Wow.
Well, it certainly helps when you go 10 for 17 on third down conversions. That normally is a normally good sign that you're going to win a football game if you go 10 for 17 on third down conversions. My goodness.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I mean, Kyler Murray really didn't throw the ball well, but James Conner returns to Pittsburgh. Of course, fought cancer, beat cancer, played at Pitt, played his first few years in the league as a Steeler. 25 carries, 105 yards, 2 touchdowns. James Conner had a tremendous homecoming back to Pittsburgh and basically just carried the Steelers to victory. Unfortunately for the Steelers, Kenny Pickett gets hurt, which means Trubisky had to come in. And, I mean, Trubisky was 11-17 for $117 and a touchdown, but the Cardinals at 3-10 just had their way against the Steelers. And I will say this. The Steelers will take this. They will bounce back.
Yep.
And this upcoming Thursday, I feel bad for the New England Patriots. Because that's who the Steelers got on Thursday night on Pearl Harbor Day against the Patriots. So, you know the rule on this show, and you know what I always say. The Steelers will not lose 2 straight at home.
And you don't go against Mike Tomlin.
Put on the postcard. You put on a postcard. Mike Tomlin will have the Steelers ready to play on Thursday night against the Patriots to send Bill Belichick even to greater misery on the shores of the Allegheny River. All right.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Moving on. Scores that no, I want to go to NFL scores. Thank you. And by the way, Steelers are still in the playoff spots. Don't worry about that. It had to take 5 periods. The Titans kept throwing hooks, had them on the ropes, but the horseshoe finds a way in overtime to get by the Titans 31-28. Michael Pittman, give me points, young man, finds the end zone with the game winner in overtime. And Gardner Minshew has held down the fort since Anthony Richardson's injury.
Yes, indeed.
And the Colts right now
Yes, indeed.
are in the playoffs. They are 7-5. Derrick Henry, tremendous game, 21 carries, go to 2 TDs. D-Hop, 5 catches, 75 yards on the TD. But Michael Pittman Jr., 11 catches, buck of 5, including the game winner in overtime. The Colts playing some good ball, staying alive in the playoff hunt. They're currently in the playoffs if the season was to end. Shane Steichen doing a fantastic job his first year coaching the Colts. And the Colts playing some inspired football. The Horseshoe, 7-5. And the Titans go to 4-8. And once again, bad loss, but the Houston Texans find a way. But first off, best wishes to Tank Dell. More than likely, he's going to be out for the season.
Yep.
With the fibula. And that's a shame because Tank Dell had been balling all season long. So prayers to him and his recovery. But I said losing streaks had to end. And the Titans in the Broncos 5-game winning streak. Nico Collins, 191 yards on 9 catches.
Get you some, young man.
Finds a way to get it done. Finds Collins with a 2-point conversion. And the Texans at 7-5. Like I said, D'Amico Ryans, in my book, he is your NFL Coach of the Year. Russ did not throw the ball well. Russ was in a giving mood in Houston, throwing 3 interceptions. And the Texans
game winner.
Thank you very much.
Game winner interception.
Houston goes to 75. Denver goes to 6-6. Yes. Just said no soup for you. Texans 7-5. Broncos 6-6. 22-17 in favor of the Texans. And we said this would be a good right game for the Lions. And the Lions did go get in New Orleans. And the Saints fans were letting a certain quarterback express how they were feeling. As when he came back on the field, the boo birds came out from the Saints fans. Sam Laporta from tight end U, 9 catches, a $140 and a TD. He might be your rookie of the year offensively. Just keep that in mind because he's been having some fantastic games. Chris Olave returned
between him and CJ Stroud.
19. Lions go to 9. For the first time in a long time, they get their 9th win of the year. In the NFC, still in first place in the NFC North, as they beat the Saints by a final score of 33-28. The Saints got back into it because at once upon a time the Lions were up 24-7, but the Saints showed some heart. They got within 6, but at the end of the day, the Lions was just too much, and they get the win by 5. 33-28. At Shea Stadium, the Atlanta Braves beat the New York Mets by a final score of 13-8. Chipper Jones went 4 for 5 with 2 doubles and a big 3-run homer to have 5 RBIs in the game. No, the Falcons beat the Jets 13-8. Tim Boyle got
Jets had many opportunities in that game too.
So much. They did. The Jets actually had a brief 2-0 lead on a 2-run homer by David Wright, and then the Falcons actually scored a touchdown, and then after that it was the Young Ho Koo show with 3 field goals. But the Falcons officially in first place in the NFC South with a 6-6 record, and the Jets go to 4-8. And now some of the questions of will Saleh be fired? That remains to be seen. We don't know.
Why? Here's the problem.
I'm not asking that question, and I'm not saying that he should be fired.
Are you gonna blame the season on him when you banked your whole season on Aaron Rodgers? It's not his fault that Aaron Rodgers got hurt on the first play of the season. And for what he's doing, it's not his fault that his offense is not. It's not his fault that the offense is not playing well like the defense. They put their whole season on Aaron Rodgers and he's not there. And now you want to fire him? I hope that's just something to talk about to put in the press because he does not deserve to get fired. It's not.
You know how New York is.
That's just my opinion.
And that's just and that's just New York being New York. However, Falcons do get the win by a final score of 13-8. Falcons in first place, which is pretty good in their case. But I mean, I don't think Saleh should be fired, but I know if I am the Jets, I definitely would be looking at offensive linemen to shore up that offensive line because that offensive line needs help in the biggest way.
Time. Big time.
And I really do mean in the biggest way because it's taken away from this tremendous defense because they've been playing lights out. They've been balling their eyes out all year long, and it's a crying shame. It really is. It just is. It sucks. It really does suck.
Yeah.
But really, what more can you say? The Falcons finding a way to get it done, and that's just all there is to it. And yeah. Where are we at now? Okay, next game. Not surprising, the Dolphins go to Landover, put up 45. All the Commanders beat them by 30, 45-14. Tyreek Hill, 5 catches, Buff 67, 2 TDs, A-Chain returns, 17 carries, 73 yards, 2 TDs. Dolphins are who they are. They're 9-3. They're back in the game. And now the Miami Dolphins are your number 1 seed in the freaking American Football Conference. Who would have thought? That's insane.
Right.
Insane. But it's just insane. I mean, it is what it is.
They're playing complimentary football.
They do what they have to do. Go to Landover. Yes. Country K's beloved Buccaneers beat the Panthers by 3, 21-18. But the more important stat of the day is Mike Evans, for his 10th straight season, will be an 1,000-yard wide receiver. That is a tremendous accomplishment. And congratulations to Mike Evans. He has been doing this his whole entire career. Has just been an outstanding football player. Our congratulations to him. Just a tremendous career. And it continues. So he gets a big win as the Buccaneers still in the thick of the division chase. I mean, the division is not the division is still up for grabs. It really is.
Do they still got to play the Falcons?
So, I mean, kudos to him. They have to play them one more time, I believe. So if we go to the schedule, if you look at the schedule, they play them this week in Atlanta.
Here we go.
The Buccaneers travel to the ATL to play Atlanta.
Here we go.
To which the Falcons beat them earlier back in October by a final score of 16-13. So, chance for the Falcons to get revenge on the Falcons. Oh, I'm surprised we did not have a banner. Okay, well, we need to make a new banner. The Rams, they're back in the playoff picture. They're at 6-6, shockingly.
Right?
They beat the Browns. They beat the Browns 37. They beat the Browns 37-19. which is quite shocking, to be honest. But the Browns starting to leak oil a little bit, but hopefully you hope they can get back on the winning track. But Nakua before he got his injury went over 1,000 yards.
Oh man, what a performance!
Hope
What a
he's okay.
performance.
The injury looked like he tore his pec, and that didn't look so good. So hopefully we'll find out what the severity of the injury is for Puka Nacua, who's had a fantastic rookie season. But the Rams, winners of 3 straight, because it looked bad for the Rams, but now the Rams are just back in the thick of things. They're 6-6. Browns go to 7-5. Stafford throws for 3 touchdown passes in the game. Karen Williams back. He had 21 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown. Again, Nakua before he got injured, 4 catches for $105. Elijah Moore led the Browns with 4 catches for 83 yards. As Flacco, son of the practice squad, had to play. Flacco was 23 of 44 for 254, 2 TDs, but the one costly interception led to eventual the Rams going away, getting the win. Back real quickly to the Buccaneers and the Panthers. Again, Mike Evans, 10th straight year, 1,000-yard receiver. Tremendous career, and the streak does continue. Bryce Young was 15 of 31 for $178, threw for interception. Baker Mayfield, 14 of 29 for 202, a touchdown and interception. But the Bucs had some efficiency in the run game. Rashard White, 20 carries, 84 yards, and a touchdown. Of course, Mike Evans, 7 catches for $162, including a big 75-yard touchdown. Chuba Hubbard, the former Oklahoma State Cowboy, ran the ball well. Carries for $104, scored both touchdowns for the Panthers. Jonathan Mingo, Buccaneers go to 5-7. And the game of the day. Now, I could have easily came in here, wore my gear, bragged, talked trash, because I rightfully have the right to do that, because my team went into Philadelphia and made Eagle fans leave early and cuss their team out and made them even more mad. As my team went up there and put up a 40-burger on the Eagles. Now, keep in mind, now, of course, I'm watching the game on Chris's iPad while I'm broadcasting the fall brawl for A7 NFL, which we'll talk about in a little bit. So, as a team makes a good play, obviously I can't scream what I would like to say because I'm on the air broadcasting the fall brawl. So I'm like fist pumping to the heavens galore whenever a great play happens during the game. But I mean, in the first quarter, they played as crappy as you can play in the first quarter. I mean, the first quarter, they couldn't do stuff. And then I get a text from Mizzle talking about Kyle better get his stuff together. And I'm like, you're not wrong. But then it seemed like once McCaffrey scored on that touchdown and they went up 14-6, the Niners did not look back as they scored touchdowns on 6 consecutive possessions. And keep in mind, folks, that is a very good Eagles defense out there. We're talking to Kobe Dean. We're talking Fletcher Cox. We're talking Jalen Carter. We're talking about Darius Slay. We're talking about Bird. That's a good defense that the Niners just put up 42 points against. So
yes, indeed.
But it seemed to me the team got motivated after the Dre Greenlaw ejection. And you can read Sirianni talking about you better throw 57 out. Well, you did that, but it just fueled the fire for the Niners as they go to 9-3, 1 game behind the Eagles for home field. Eagles get their second loss. But I mean, Jalen Hurts only ran the ball for 20 yards, 2 for 298. And can we please stop it with the Can we please stop it with the whole is Brock Purdy this or Brock Purdy that? What more does the man have to prove? What more? He threatened the Eagles, 19 of 27 314 and 4 touchdown passes.
He was sharp.
And oh, by the way,
He was sharp.
half of Debo's catches found the end zone. Debo caught 4 balls, 2 of them found the end zone, 4 catches for $116. Okay. I really try to refrain and try to really act like a homer and be a homer because that's not who I am. I'm a very humble human being. Those that really know me know I'm a very humble man. Sometimes it's hard for me to talk about myself because I've never been one for self-gratification. However, what this showed yesterday on the Fox Game of the Week, what it showed is when this team is healthy, I'll be doggone if they're not the best team in the National Football League. And that is the closest you will ever hear me to really sounding like a homer and saying my team is the ish. But this version of the team I saw yesterday in Philadelphia is going to be a very hard team to beat in January.
You got a good run.
To the point where my co-host has said more than once on this show to where he has to wash his mouth out. He said that he sees my team in the Super Bowl because he can't stand my fan base for a plethora of reasons, which is why he's taking a drink of his H2O right now.
No, you guys are.
He does not like to give my team credit when credit is due.
The schedule fits. I mean, you already shot down the Eagles. You shot down the Seahawks. You get the Seahawks again. I mean, and it all depends on now you're looking at the Cowboys and Eagles game. If the Cowboys handle their business, that's helping you guys out.
Correct.
This is a good. This is going to be a good run. I am going to enjoy the football aspect of it, regardless of how your team plays. But this is what you play the game for. This is why they put playoffs in and make your division games. Put the division games towards the end for this how to finish. So I'm loving how this is shaping up to be. And I said it in our week 1 preview show. I said you fuckers will be in the Super Bowl. So Kyle, don't fuck it up. That's all I'm gonna say. Don't turn into the old Kyle Shanahan. Don't do it.
That's the main thing, which scares me because, as we know, Kyle Shanahan has a tendency to do some dumb stuff, and sometimes you want to question and be like, why? Because sometimes it makes no sense, but nevertheless, what this team showed is when they can get their stuff together, as you like to say, they really can beat anybody. And like I said, was I expecting them to go into Philadelphia and just putting up a 40 burger? No. Was I expecting them to just... It is very hard to break the Eagles' will when they're playing in Philadelphia in front of their home base. It's one of the toughest things to do. However, they broke that team's spirit in front of their fan base. I mean, you got Lenore just cracking DeAndre Swift, which I've never seen DeAndre Swift get cracked like that in the years I've watched him play football. And I've watched him since he was a Georgia Bulldog. And I know how tough DeAndre Swift is because if you've seen his dad, with the way his dad trains, I know DeAndre Swift ain't no punk. But he got mollywopped. Of course, as I said, the Drake, you know it's real if a football player and a security guard for the team gets ejected out of a game because the security guard put hands on a football player. You know it's real. But somebody made the natural error that Dre Greenlaw is the 49ers version of Draymond Green. Dre Greenlaw is the hardest hitting person on the team. He's the hardest hitter. and it shows.
Yes.
Yes, just like Draymond Green, he does some things with the tech fouls, and we as Warrior fans sometimes want to choke slam Draymond Green. However, just like Draymond Green for many years has been the heartbeat, he makes the team go together with the way he calls the defensive assignments. Draymond Greenlaw is the spirit animal of Fred Warner, because Fred Warner can't do what he does without Greenlaw. Okay, now again, the tandem of Willis and Bowman was one of the great linebacker tandems in my team's history. Unfortunately, they didn't play together long enough. And who knows what they could have evolved into. But for that 3-year period, it was as fun to watch. But I'm just telling you, just the way 54 and the way 57 complement each other. It's fun to watch. It really is, because it's
Don't disagree.
They complement each other so well. They both can go sideline to sideline. It's fun to watch them play. It really is.
I agree.
It's a good win, a very, very good win. I'm just impressed. So we shall see. But tonight's game really is a sad game, because it really, really would have been great to see Joe Burrow against Sunshine go head to head on Monday night. But unfortunately, because Burrow is out for the season, there won't be no Burrow. It will be Jake Browning. It's the Jaguars and the Bengals. The Jaguars should be able to handle their business, to which I mean, it should be a fantastic game. Should be a good game. But I do think that the Jaguars should have enough to get the win and get their 9th game win of the season. So right now, the Miami Dolphins are your number 1 seed in the playoffs, if the playoffs were to start today. So we will come back later on tonight, if Mizzle's not too tired, and we will do our usual Monday night recap and give our picks for week 14.
Yes.
Interesting matchups on week 14 of the National Football League. But we will see what happens. But nonetheless, for those that came in and watched and left some comments, thank you. We appreciate you like we always do. Oh, that's just odds. No new news. So supposedly Shohei Ohtani is supposed to make his decision this week. To where, I don't know. You just have to watch and find out. But nonetheless,
this is kind of interesting, though. I like
that teams that had victory Monday. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, but nonetheless, just see if there's any more important news I need to talk about here, which there isn't. But again, first off, before we go, congratulations to longtime Major League Baseball manager Jim Leyland. Jim Leyland getting his flowers. Jim Leyland will have his plaque in Cooperstown, New York, as he is going to be one of the first members elected to the Hall of Fame. Jim Leyland been doing this for a long time. Of course, was Barry Bonds' first manager with the Pirates. Won the World Series with the Marlins in 1997. Helped the Tigers get to the World Series in 2012. Many good teams he has managed. Ooh, Babe Ruth rookie card sells for $7.2 million. That's a lot of money.
Ooh.
And then the Braves and the that's a lot of money. And the Braves and the Mariners make a trade. long-time hot prospect for the Mariners, Jared Kelenic, he goes to Atlanta, and the Mariners get 2 pitching prospects. So the Mariners trading Jared Kelenic, Marco Gonzalez, and Evan White to the Braves for a package that includes Jackson Kowar and Cole Phillips. That is according to Ken Rosenthal. Of course, Kelenic was a very high prospect for the Mariners, as the Mariners, of course, had a winning season, just fell short of the playoffs, had a chance to compete. Tell me how you really feel, Quan. That is Quan, our sound producer for the other side of the ball, and Talking Ish with Dub and Chris. That's the studio that we go to on Wednesdays and Saturdays, and Quan, like me, big-time Niner fan. So, Quan, doing hot stove, Quan, that's why. Good grief. And Quan is a very big basketball savant. Unfortunately, he's a damn Lakers fan. Dadgummit, but Quan is a very good dude.
Well, you know what we're going to do with that? This is how I feel about Laker fans. Bow. Goodbye.
Stop it. Anyhow, Quan's a good dude, but shout out to Quan for checking in and giving us a look. But well, actually, there is 2 in-season tournament games going today. Real quick before we get out of here.
Yes. Yes. I will chime in on that possibly while I'm at work.
Yeah.
Is this the crossover broadcast? Is this the crossover where Stephen A. Smith and Will Bond and them?
No. That's probably going to be when they get to Vegas. Okay. So it's the quarterfinals, and it'll be tonight. It will be really? Indiana's hosting this? Really? Interesting. So yeah. So it's the Pacers and the Celtics, with the Pacers at home, because I think the Pacers had one of the top records in this group.
They went undefeated,
which is still.
I think they went undefeated.
Yeah, it's still confusing to this day. Anyhow, it's the Celtics and Pacers. That's 4:30 p.m. on TNT. On the Tom Sula on TNT, and then the nightcap. It's the Kings and the Pelicans in Sacramento. So, ABA versus NBA.
Damn it! I wish I was on for that.
The Pelicans and the Kings. Will the Kings like the beam tonight, or will the Pelicans get? So the winner of these 2 games, obviously, will go to Vegas and play on the 7th in the semifinals, and then tomorrow the other nightcap of the tournament. Both games on TNT. Also, first game, it's the New York Knicks taking on the Milwaukee Bucks, and of course the nightcap, Suns Lakers in Los Angeles. That's the nightcap on TNT. So you get Durant against LeBron, or should I say the 2 receding hairlines that both men need to go bald. But that's the story for another day. So Pacers Celtics tonight, Kings Pelicans tonight, tomorrow Knicks Bucks, Suns Lakers. Again, all 4 games you can catch on TNT, and of course the 7th and the 9th. ESPN will have 1 game, TNT will have the other game, and then the nightcap will be on ABC. So I'm gonna say the 2 semifinal games will probably be the mix with Stephen A. Smith, Will Bond, Shaq, and Charles Barkley. That's going to make for some fantastic, great television and great television. You might not want to.
Oh yes. And that's going to be.
And
awesome.
With that, those are the only 2 games. Those are the only 2 games going on in the association. So we've covered a lot of stuff. We got passion about why we can't stand Alabama. Gave you all the college bowl matchups. Gave you some NFL stuff. So tonight, if Mizzle's not tired, you will get episode 136, where we will recap the Monday Night Football game. And, of course, as we always do, give our weekly picks for Week 14 of the NFL season, and maybe squeeze in the recap of the Celtics and the Pacers and the Kings and the Pelicans. But for now, Mizzle's got to get ready and go do the day job. And I got to go finish my laundry. But to those that came in to watch, some comments. We appreciate you. Special thanks to EJ Whistle, as always, from the comments. Special thanks to my sound engineer at the Vegas Hype Media Studios, Quan, for dropping in real quick. Appreciate you. And we appreciate all of you for watching this show, because like I said, we do this for y'all, for y'all's enjoyment and entertainment. So with that said, for Mizzle, I'm Dub. Thank you for always. Episode 135 for the book.